Alright, hello everybody, welcome to today's live stream. In today's stream we are going to be talking about episode 43 of Ninjago, entitled The Greatest Fear of All. This is of course the 9th episode of Season 4, Tournament of Elements. We're almost done. Tomorrow we're going to be wrapping up Tournament and then moving on to Possession the next day. Hopefully you guys are having a good day today. Thank you all for joining me here in the chat. In case you guys are new to these streams and have no idea how they work, this is what we got for the streaming information. We stream Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time, with an episode review and a Q&A. Obviously, the episode review is not going to take up the entirety of the stream, so we will jump into Q&A whenever we get done with the reviews. They usually vary depending on how long they take, so yeah, usually it's about 20 minutes in, so yes, hopefully that makes sense to you guys. But yeah, Greatest Fear of All. I'm really excited to talk about this episode. Not my favorite episode of Season 4, for being honest. I do have a couple of issues with it. I rewatched this a few days ago. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. I missed you guys. What's the drink for today? We have just a bottle of water. It's my last one. I do have another case of water out in my car, but because it's like, 10 degrees outside, it's frozen. So I gotta bring that in, let that thaw out here in a minute. But yeah, this is what we got going on. I'm gonna let the slideshow run in the background as we jump across the actual plot of the episode. Then we'll jump into the good, the bad, and then finally, after we get done with everything, I will be giving the episode a score out of 10. As I said, this episode is not my favorite. I have a few issues with it, but it's not a bad episode by any means. Let's go ahead and run down the plot really quick. If you guys had any type of question related to the actual episode at hand, feel free to let me know in the chat during the review portion of the stream. If you guys just had a general question, it might be in your best interest to wait until the Q&A portion, because then we can just talk about random stuff. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to it. So the episode begins with the ninja and the elemental masters returning to Ninjago City on their dragons. They must stick together in order to not be divided by Chen once again. And when they get to Ninjago City, the citizens are basically very scared of Skylar and Garmadon for good reason. They are part snake people. I feel like if anyone would see that in real life, they'd be freaked out too, so that's nothing too crazy. Skylar's hand, though, begins to turn normal, meaning that the spell might not be as complete as Chen might have hoped. Meanwhile, we cut to Chen's hideout, where, yes, indeed, the spell is not complete. Turns out it went on to another page, and they missed that during the actual, portion in which they were trying to transform themselves. So they don't have a complete spell. So what are they going to do now? They clearly need a new plan, because they can't just read off the book again, obviously, so they need something else. What could they do? Meanwhile, the ninja basically reunite with Wu and Misako. Zane, of course, meets up with Wu again for the first time since his demise, so it was kind of nice to see Wu and Zane finally meet up. But they all decide to get advice from the one living Anachondra that's still around, that being Pythor. After the Overlord incident in Season 3, he kind of got transported to Cryptarium Prison, so that's basically where Pythor is at right now. The ninja head to Cryptarium, and they find the shrunken down Pythor in one of the cells. They begin to talk to him a little bit. They try to talk about how they are going to be defeating the Anachondri. What is the Anachondri's weakness? To which Pythor basically replies that no, there is no weakness. For the Anachondri, we're just too good, even though he's like shrunken down and useless. Pythor gets tossed around like a doll in this episode, and I really enjoy that aspect of it. I thought it was really fun. But no, Pythor is no help whatsoever here. Pythor agrees to help in any way that he can, of course. Again, as I said, there's not really any way that he can help at this current point in time, especially if the Anachondri don't have a weakness. But the fake Anachondri break into the prison and decide to start throwing out some trouble, so the ninja decide to open up with just a large battle in the prison, so that's fun. The ninja take on the fake Anachondri, and Pythor is kind of revealed to contain some type of venom, and that's what the Anachondri are after. They're after the venom of a pure Anachondri in order to keep the spell permanent on themselves. I guess it makes sense. So what they need to do is capture Pythor, and the ninja need to do everything in their power to save Pythor, so it's kind of fun. Lloyd, Garmadon, and Wu take off with Pythor while the ninjas stay behind, and during the commotion, the prison actually opens up, and all of the prisoners escape as well, meaning that a large amount of Ninjago's past villains join the battle as well, including the giant stone warrior. There are a couple of, just random ninjaroids and everything like that in there too. The pirates from Season 2 are back as well, so the ninja basically have to fight off them, as well as trying to fight off the fake Anachondri. They give chase to Wu, Garmadon, and Lloyd, who are currently trying to break through the prison with Pythor, so that's fun. But Pythor eventually does get captured. When they break out of the prison, Pythor is kind of cornered by the Anacondrae and he is captured. The ninja follow suit and also seal off the prison from the prisoners trying to get out. So that's fun. So yeah, basically the plan's foiled now. The Anacondrae have Pythor and they are actually using Pythor to produce more of his venom. So that's going to be fun there. Chen basically has him running on this wheel type thing, and then they have a rat chasing him. It's kind of fun. Yeah, the rat was like a demon, to be fair. You're not wrong there. It was a scary, like, mouse type thing. I'd shoot it if I found that in my house. Um, but yeah, anywho, the Elemental Masters have kind of failed here, and now they're trying to focus on their next step in action. We also get a little bit of character growth there with Garmadon, where he's trying to talk to Misako about the letter that he kind of forged back in the day that made her fall for him. So we get to see that a little bit in this episode, and he tries to explain it to Misako, but the power goes out in the Samurai X cave, and unfortunately, there's not really much that he can do about that. The Elemental Masters are kind of chasing down these noodle trucks that are kind of being sent out by Chen, presumably with Anacondrae in there. So, yeah, there are Anacondrae in the actual noodle trucks, supposedly. So each Elemental Master kind of gets on their dragon to track them down. They do get split up here, which is not very good for the Alliance. They said that they needed to stay together, and now they're splitting up. Not very good, and they're basically just chasing down these trucks. The ninja need to split up, and it leads basically to nowhere. Eventually, all of the trucks kind of crash, and it's not super great for the ninja. But they do go ahead and open up the back of the trucks to see what's inside, and there's nothing in there. All of the trucks are empty, meaning that Chen has played them, get dunked on, if you will. None of the noodle trucks have any of the Anacondrae in there, and all of the ninja are separated as the Anacondrae begin to attack various villages like Jamanakai, a couple of other villages in there. So obviously the ninja have failed here. They all kind of realize what's going on. They can't use their dragons because they're too freaked out, and Wu basically declares that the next Serpentine War has begun, and that's basically where the episode ends. So the ninja have been defeated. Chen has won in this instance, so we'll see how that leads into the next episode, which is the big season finale. The plot is pretty easy to explain this go around. There's not really a whole lot of time in this stream dedicated to the plot because it's pretty simple. But yeah, no, I don't really feel like any of the Elemental Masters at this point can activate their dragons. I think they're all kind of freaked out at the moment, but we will see them all reunite in the next episode, so clearly they kind of get over it pretty quick. But no, in terms of the good and the bad stuff, for the good, I got a few things to say. First of all, it was really cool seeing Pythor back. Anytime a new villain comes back, I feel like that's going to be really fun and a really good thing for everybody watching. Pythor has returned, and he's really fun. Obviously, since he's a little shrunken down boy, he can't really do much of anything, but he tries his best. So that's pretty much all I can ask for. Him being like a MacGuffin is pretty cool too. The Anacondrae need him to produce a lot more venom so he can actually, so Chen can actually maintain the spell. So that's really fun. But no, Pythor being back was really fun. The ninja also reunite with Wu. It was cool to see them all reunite again after spending the entire season kind of apart. It was kind of cool to see Zane reunite with Wu as well. I thought that was fun. Also, the prison battle, I need to mention that as something of importance too. The prison battle is really fun. It sees a lot of older villains kind of joining the fight, and the ninja are just kind of annoyed at that point. They're just kind of like, we fought most of these guys before, so how hard can it be? But no, I thought that was really cool. I thought that was really well done. Also, the ninja use a few of their elemental abilities this episode. The ninja overall in their battles were really cool. Definitely needed to mention that in terms of the good stuff. Also, Garmadon's inner turmoil in this episode was also fun. We will see that play into the next episode as well. But he's basically kind of, trying to confess to Misako that he originally did not write that letter. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that in the next episode. In a lot of ways, this episode is very much part 1 of 2 to the big finale. Yeah, I'd say Pythor is kind of cute. He's a very small man, He's kind of maybe the size of not really the size of an actual minifigure, but maybe like twice the size of that, if you will. So, no, having Pythor as a pet, that could be fun, just put him in a jar and call it good from there. I also found it funny that Chen, literally put Pythor into a jar. I thought that was funny, just for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, we also see the dragons. They're super cool. I really loved the chase sequences with the noodle trucks, even though they kind of ended up going nowhere. It was kind of cool seeing each ninja and each elemental master chase down the noodle trucks with their dragons. I thought that was fun. And also the ending is genuinely scary. It freaked me out a lot when I was watching it when I was younger. Nowadays, I just think it's kind of cool how they add that scary effect in there. The ninja are basically hopeless. The Anacondrae are still messing stuff up across Ninjago, and the ninja basically basically did nothing. So yeah, that's kind of scary in a way. In terms of bad stuff, I got a few things to nitpick and say. First of all, they do bounce back and forth from location to location. It almost feels like, in a lot of ways in this episode, here they're at the Samurai X Cave, now they're at Cryptarium, now they're back at the Samurai X Cave, now they're out doing something else. It kind of felt like they would jump around a lot, which I really didn't care for. I would kind of like a very consistent setting, but it did kind of help that, I guess we got some cool locations out of it. I mean, Cryptarium Prison, Samurai X Cave, we got some cool locations, but unlike the last episode, they kind of jump around a lot. All the other tournament episodes were set in this one particular island, and yeah, I kind of got used to that. These last two episodes, I will admit, don't kind of feel like tournament to me. They do kind of just feel like some other series, kind of like a sequel, if you will. But that was my first nitpick. It does feel like a lesser part one to the actual final battle of season 4, if you will. A lot of stuff gets set up in this episode that doesn't pay off here. They will be paying off in the next episode, such as the Garmadon Masako letter situation, Chen Xenocondri invading Ninjago. It is a good cliffhanger, but at the same time, I would expect a lot of those to be resolved in this episode. But no, we didn't really get a whole lot of that. So the Elemental Masters also don't really do much here. As I said, this is very much a part one to the part two of the final battle, if you will. So the Elemental Masters don't do much here, but they will do much later on. So yeah, really don't like that. And yeah, I don't know. This episode, along with the next episode, I always thought it was just kind of strange that it doesn't really feel like tournament. But the next episode, from what I remember, is a lot better than this one. I will be checking that out tomorrow. In terms of this episode, I will be giving it an 8 out of 10 for everything I listed in my review. Not a bad episode, and I will admit that the bad stuff that I pointed out is nitpicking very much so. So obviously I couldn't give it too low of a score. But let me know what you guys think about this episode in the chat. What score would you give it? As I take a sip of my water. So bear with me here. Water's good. Water hydrates you. 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, couple of 8s, 10 for Tiny Pythor. Yeah, Tiny Pythor was a highlight for me. They're kind of just tossing him around like he's nothing. I thought that was really fun. I mean, serves Pythor right, he kind of deserves that at this point. Couple 9s, couple 7s, couple 10s in there too. Jailhouse fight between the Anacondrae. Yeah, that was a pretty good part of the episode. I'll give you that. 8 out of 12. Fair enough. So yeah, overall, I'd say this episode is still kind of highly received, just based off of some of the scores in the chat. Kind of a little bit of average ratings from all of y'all, but of course that's to be expected here. I feel like a lot of us feel the same way about this episode. But yeah, that was basically my very quick review for The Greatest Fear of All. The episode review went by a little quickly today, just because it's like not one of my favorites, and the plot can be summed up pretty easily. So yeah, in terms of that, that's pretty much going to do it for the episode review. Tomorrow we will be checking out the Corridor of Elders, which is the season finale of Tournament of Elements, and then after that we will jump into season 5 pretty much right away. So that'll pretty much do it for the review, but we're not done with the stream, obviously. So let's go ahead and jump into Q&A. I know it's a little early. It's a little bit early, a little bit earlier than what we usually do on these streams, but we got nothing else to talk about for the episode. We're basically done with everything. So let's jump into some questions and answers. I think we'll start out with season 13 right off the bat. That sounds like fun. Where's Waffle? Waffle, how is she? She's fine. I don't think she's in the room with me right now. Uh, no, I don't know where she is. She must be somewhere else in the apartment. In terms of announcements, I don't really have a whole lot to make. I did order some new legacy stuffs, so that'll be here tomorrow night. I'm excited for that. Some of them are giveaway prizes for the upcoming 10-hour live stream, which I'm really looking forward to. So stay tuned. If you want to figure out what those are, just feel free to head on over to my Instagram and check it out. I posted what I'm going to be grabbing on there, and I will be doing a haul video as well when the sets actually do reach my house. In terms of where the legacy sets are, you can probably find them at Target stores. They've been kind of showing up there. I know my Target is pretty much stacked with legacy stuff. Everything that I ordered online was actually at Target the day after, so I kind of felt silly in a way just ordering the stuff online, but it was kind of too late to cancel them, so they're going to be here tomorrow night. I'm obviously not like super impatient for them, if you will, but I just figured it was worth mentioning. Look for the sets at Target. You might find them there. Which one was my favorite season apart from season 4? My second favorite season is Sons of Garmadon, because I feel like that season's just all around a really solid story for the ninja, so really love that. But yeah, it's my second favorite next to Tournament. Can I do the 10-hour stream at 9 or 10 a.m.? I'm not sure what time we're going to be doing that at yet. I will let you guys know when we get closer to the actual date. So. How can Doubloon in Season 6 use Spinjitzu? Spinjitzu isn't really like a necessary specific thing to the ninja. They can be used by pretty much anybody, even if you're not an elemental master. Like we saw Masako use Spinjitzu, we've seen obviously Doubloon use it. Doubloon using Spinjitzu is kind of just like someone else, just like learning like karate. It's just a martial art, I guess. In terms of Ninjago, it's a very fictional martial art. But yeah, pretty much anybody can learn it if they put enough time and focus into it. I think with the ninja, it's a little bit easier for them to learn it because obviously they're training under Master Wu, who of course is the son of the first Spinjitzu master. So, yeah. But no, I feel like anyone can use Spinjitzu in this universe if they tried hard enough. Obviously, Asphira knows Spinjitzu as well, so it's not just meant specifically for the ninja, I guess. What show do I watch that relates most to Ninjago? In terms of stuff that I watch, I'd have to say just My Hero Academia, which is of course an anime that I really enjoy, but a lot of the powers do kind of overlap. Obviously, you got someone with fire powers, you got someone with water powers. So My Hero and Ninjago have a lot in common, but obviously Ninjago came out first. Ninjago, in a lot of ways, is very much based off of The Last Airbender, which I have not seen, but a lot of the concepts and powers do come from that show. It was an influence for Ninjago. So, have I seen The Matrix? I have it on the Blu-ray, but I haven't watched it yet. That's a movie that I never really got around to watching, but I will be watching it hopefully soon because I have the I have the Blu-ray. So, but I have a backlog of stuff that I need to watch. So, maybe sometime soon. What do I think of GTA 5? I think the storyline is really cool, like the actual story mode. It's one of the best games I've ever played. But online leaves a lot to be desired, especially right now. You can't really go on to GTA Online without being blown up immediately by just some random other person in the server. So, yeah. Esphira, Omega, or Iron Baron. How about I rank those three really quick? In terms of my favorite to least favorite, I'd say the Omega is my favorite, followed by Esphira, followed by the Iron Baron. I really don't like Iron Baron as a villain. I think he is not a very good villain, so yeah, he's kind of at the bottom of the list for me. I think Omega is cool though. Like the Oni are all super fun. I think they're really cool. The Omega could have done a little bit more in March of the Oni, not gonna lie, but obviously we're gonna be we're kind of picking from some lower level villains though. So, opinions on the Skull Sorcerer. He's cool. I think he's fine. The twist of him being the king was kind of predictable. You know, King Vangelis being the Skull Sorcerer. Kind of saw that coming a while away. But yeah, I don't know. He's still like a fine character to me. He's not a bad villain. I think his design's super cool. I love the little skull. I thought that was fun. But no, the Skull Sorcerer is not a bad villain at all. Why don't I like the Fire chapter? The Fire chapter, I don't hate it necessarily. It's just kind of my least favorite, or one of my least favorite things about Ninjago, just because of, I guess, the writing. It was a new transition into, I guess, the new studio as well, so it was kind of awkward at first, so that's kind of always stuck with me. But it was kind of an underwhelming first start, if you will, for this new studio. I really just thought that the Fire chapter wasn't all that it was kind of meant to be. I think it could have been a lot better if the story would have been written a little more. If filler episodes would have been cut out entirely, that would have made for an excellent story, all things considered. Just a couple of issues. It's also some issues that there are also some issues that I have with the Ice chapter that are pretty similar. But the Ice chapter is significantly better, in my opinion, due to the storyline. Have you ever heard of the Odd Ones Out? Yeah, I'm not a fan of him. I think he's kind of sketchy. Read up on him. He does some sketchy stuff, so not a real big fan of that lad there. I used to watch him when I was young, but I'm not like super invested into his content anymore. What would I want in a canon movie for Ninjago? I think if they're gonna do a movie for Ninjago, like in the storyline, they should definitely like end it with a movie, if you will. So I feel like that could be a good idea. I'd love to see, in a lot of ways, the ninja all harness golden power again. Maybe the movie could focus on that if they were to make a movie. That could be fun. If all the ninja need to focus on their golden power, just so that it could be kind of like a big, like commemorative thing going back over all of Ninjago. So yeah, I feel like that could be a really cool idea, and I would love to see the Overlord come back as well, um, because you know, he's the Overlord, Ninjaga's greatest villain. As I take a sip of my water. Do I want the power dragons to come back? Yeah, I feel like that was a really cool and unique ability for the elemental masters that they just kind of got rid of for no reason. I mean, there is a reason for it. They wanted it to be a little bit more grounded and not have the ninja be super overpowered, which is obviously a good thing. But at the same time, it was a really cool concept that they could have adopted and made their own a little bit more. They could have just added more to it. But yeah, I don't know about that. I wish they would have kept it. The Odd Ones Out has 16 million subscribers. Yeah. That doesn't mean I need to like him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't really care how many subscribers someone has. I mean, you can still do some like really weird and awkward, sketchy stuff. Like with that new mobile game that he has coming out, it's I don't know, it's not a good game. So it's another reason to add to the list of reasons to not appreciate him very much. Who do I think is the Ice Chapter main villain? I would argue in a lot of ways that it's General Vex, because while the Ice Emperor, otherwise known as Zane, while he was, I guess, the main antagonist, I feel like Vex was kind of pulling a lot of the strings behind it, so I would argue that Vex is kind of the main villain there. Not a very good guy. He's definitely not a good character, all things considered. He's fine, like, in terms of writing and his actual development, but he's just a bad guy, you know? He does some sketchy stuff as well. That's what we're talking about today on the stream. We're talking about people that do sketchy stuff. You say all things considered too much. I say a lot of stuff a lot. I have like a lot of these ticks that I have to abide by just because that's how my body works. It's how my mind operates. Yeah. So if I say something a lot, that's just because I'm kind of you know, I don't really know how to describe it. It's just stuff that I say a lot. All right, Jeebus. How would I improve Zane's character? I don't really feel like Zane's all that bad of a character to begin with. I would like to see him get a new season dedicated to strictly himself, though. I feel like if you want to talk about missed opportunities regarding Zane, he was an evil dictator in the Never Realm for a very long time, longer than he was a ninja. I don't really feel like he could, how could he just walk away from that just unscathed? You know what I'm saying? Even if he was corrupted by the scroll of Forbidden Spinjitzu, how does he not feel the repercussions of that? I feel like Prime Empire kind of missed out big there with not exploring that effect on Zane's character. That's pretty much the only critique that I have regarding Zane's character in the later seasons or the newer seasons, is that I really feel like he could have, I guess, or they could have explored that more. Like Zane's PTSD, that could have been really fun and really cool for his character, but they didn't. So they just kind of brushed it off like it's nothing. So how does my roommate feel about me staying up late? Well, she stays up late too. Like we're both up till like 4 or 5 a.m. because she doesn't go to work until like 3-ish, 3:30 in the afternoon. So yeah, and I pretty much start work as soon as I get done with these streams. So you know, um, do I think Pixel has powers? I mean, not necessarily. There's been like some debate as to whether or not Pixel has powers because the Scroll of Forbidden Spinjitzu did react to her when she was holding it, but it's not because she has powers, it's just because it kind of just reacts to anything like life that's like holding it, any living being that touches it, it does react to. Because even though Pixel doesn't have ice powers, she does have still half of Zane's heart, so maybe it kind of picked that up, if you will. Not too sure about that. How's my screenplay coming along? It's going. Definitely not going to have it done by the 14th. But it's coming along. I'd say maybe I'm about a third of the way done right now. Um, yeah, I feel like that could be a good way of describing it. Kind of like a third of the way done. But I would like to finish it at least some point in this next year. But no, I'm excited to finish writing it. I basically got the whole thing mapped out. I just need to write. I just need to write the scenes. So. Why didn't Kai react to, or why didn't it react to Kai? Maybe because Kai's power was just deplenished. That kind of cancels out what I said earlier about it reacting to any living thing. But we could still use the theory that perhaps Pixel still has half of Zane's heart, so that's what it was reacting to. But obviously Kai didn't have any power to use, so you know, yeah. Do you like Avatar: The Last Airbender? I haven't seen it. I've only seen the first couple of episodes, so it's not my favorite thing ever just because I haven't watched it. But it is on the list to watch. Like, it is something that I am planning on watching later on. I just got a lot of stuff to get through first. As I take a sip of my beverage. I say that a lot too. I say a lot of stuff over and over again. Who's my favorite ninja? I love Cole. He's the best in my own opinion. Followed by Zane, and then I'd say Lloyd. Those are my top three. If I were to pick a top three, and then Jay, Kai, and Nia. It's also another thing that happens a lot. Voice cracks because I'm going through puberty at 21. Wouldn't be surprised. What beverage? I got water. Just a bottle of water. Do I like Cole's man bun? Absolutely. Uh, I feel like you would have to be like a really like negative person to not love Cole's man bun. It's just amazing. Like how could you not? But no, all things considered, obviously everyone has their own opinions. So, but no, I feel like the man bun's really cool for Cole. I'm glad it's coming back in season 14. It's going to be awesome. What made me like Ninjago? I was first introduced with Ninjago back when I was maybe around 10, 11. It was in a Lego Club magazine, and obviously Ninjago was just kind of starting, so I pretty much got into it as soon as it kicked off. But I remember looking at it in a Lego Club magazine. They had a whole section dedicated to Ninjago, and I kind of was reading up on some of the characters, and I thought, this sounds really cool. This sounds super fun. And the pilot episodes were airing on Cartoon Network at the time, like a few weeks after I had the magazine. So I figured, hey, why not go ahead and check this show out? So I checked it out, and the rest is basically self-explainable. I basically stuck with Ninjago ever since, and here I am today. So when is my birthday? It is November 23rd. So I'm not going to have another birthday for quite a long time. But no, I just turned 21, so I first watched during season 4. That's a good season to start on, I'd say. I think season 4 is like one of the best things of Ninjago, and that's kind of why I recommend it to anyone trying to get into the show. I recommend that they watch season 4 first. In my opinion, that's kind of like Ninjago's peak. So if you don't like that, you're probably not going to like the rest of the series. So that's kind of what I recommend to people. No, it's a good season to start on. I'm quite proud of the fact though that I started pretty much right off the bat for Ninjago. I was there since day one, and I'm really proud of that. Especially with the 10th anniversary coming up. It's crazy to think that Ninjago is 10 years old almost. It makes me feel quite old. But not Ninjago, I really enjoy. Obviously, it's like my favorite thing. Yeah, season 4 is where I recommend to watch. Yeah, that's pretty much that's a good starting point in case you haven't seen anything and you just kind of want to check out a little bit of what Ninjago is all about. So, um, yeah. How would I improve Day of the Departed? I would make it a season. I feel like there's a lot going on in that special that is just too much for the 45-minute runtime. So what I would do is make it like a full-on season. Even if it's just like 4 episodes like March of the Oni was, it would be better than just having it be in one episode. Just extend it a little bit, touch on the fact that the villains are actually back, and touch on like Cole's character a little bit more too. Overall, I feel like it could be a better special if they would have just extended it out, even if it was still just a special and maybe it was like an hour and a half long like a movie. I mean, that would work. That'd be great in my opinion. I just feel like there's too much going on. It's way too cluttered, and there's just too much happening for it to be compressed into a 45-minute runtime. Do I hate season 7? No, Hands of Time I feel like is just kind of average, I'd say. Hands of Time is kind of like the most forgettable season in my opinion. I feel like a lot of Ninjago fans kind of gloss over Hands of Time. I haven't really seen anyone say that their favorite season is Hands of Time, but I might just be missing a couple comments there. If your favorite season is Hands of Time, please let me know. Um, but no, I feel like Hands of Time is just kind of average. It's kind of like the black sheep, if you will, of the Ninjago lineup. So, just my opinion. Skybound or Possession? I think Possession is the better of those two seasons. Possession's really iconic in a lot of ways. Hands of Time's a good season, not my favorite. Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel too. It's good. It's not great. It's not bad. It's just good. Average. It's not my favorite thing ever. Hunted's my all-time favorite. Hunted's a pretty cool season too. Hands of Time is memorable because of Sons of Garmadon. Yeah, fair enough, because a lot of that does kind of lead into Sons of Garmadon. My favorite season is Tournament of Elements, and I'm kind of sad that we are almost done with the episode reviews for Tournament. Tomorrow's going to be the last one, but then we get into season 5, which is obviously like a fan favorite, and I'm excited to talk about that again too. Did Hands of Time look a little weird to you? Yeah. Oh, and also speaking of which, we can also maybe switch up the pictures because we've kind of been stuck on season 13 to a while. So let's jump into Hands of Time as I talk about why it looks so weird. So Hands of Time obviously looks a little bit different from what previous Ninjago seasons were. The textures are not all the way there. The animation is kind of shiny and not fully rendered or polished, whatever you want to call it. And that's something that a lot of us noticed in Hands of Time when we were watching it for the first time. Um, But the reason why it's like that is because Hands of Time apparently had a lot of production issues, especially with the Ninjago movie coming out at the time. Hands of Time suffered a lot because of that, and clearly I could see why. But no, that led to Sons of Garmadon allegedly having a huge boost in budget. So Sons of Garmadon is probably like the best that we've ever seen Ninjago look, while Hands of Time, it kind of suffers just a little bit. That just has to do with the production problems that it had. So yeah, that's pretty much the only answer that we have as to why Hands of Time looks the way that it does. But yeah, that's what it is. Have I figured out if you can show episodes of Ninjago for the 10-hour stream and what time and date for the 10-hour stream? We have a date, finalized date. It's going to be January 14th. I am free that day, as it turns out. So January 14th is when we're going to be having the 10-hour stream. In terms of what time, I'm not sure yet. In terms of whether or not I can air episodes on there, I think I can. I just need to adjust it a little bit, maybe have it be reversed to avoid copyright, and maybe have it in the very bottom of the screen, if that makes sense. So yeah, kind of like a reaction video. So I feel like we could definitely make that work. But in terms of a time yet, I do not have a specific time that I want to have it set as yet. We might honestly just start it the same time that we normally do with streams. So who's to say? Is my intro music the same as Into the Spider-Verse? Yeah, it's kind of like the first opening few beats from that, just because I thought it was really cool. You know, I wanted to pick it up from my videos and whatnot. And then my actual intro sound is a sound from Transformers, so one of the intros of that. Possession pictures, yeah, totally. We can switch over to possession. I feel kind of bad because we like sat on season 13 for a really long time. Sometimes I kind of ramble and get to into the questions that I'm answering, and I can't really I don't pay attention to what what you guys are seeing. So apologies, but yeah, here we go. Season 5. Elemental dragons or real dragons? I feel like the elemental dragons are a little bit more convenient, but they don't really have the same relationship with the ninja that the real dragons do. So I'd say real dragons are kind of a little better, just because they're actually real and they can have relationships with the ninja. So, what is the Ninjago Media Project? I am not sure what that is referring to. When Zane split his heart, he needed Pixel to do Spinjitzu, so how can he do it on his own now? I feel like when he rebuilt himself, he kind of maybe upgraded his own heart a little bit as well, maybe so that he could actually use Spinjitzu by himself again. That's basically the what I can see as being an adequate answer. And also, Pixel was in his head for a lot of that, so who's to say? Maybe when Pixel was dismantled, they gave Zane back half of the heart, so who really knows? Yeah. Love you, Rocky. Yeah, Rocky's a cool dragon. I miss the Ultra Dragon, man. I miss them. Such a shame what happened to him. The Iron Baron just kind of mercilessly just killed them in season 9. Rest in peace, Ultra Dragon. You will be missed. Ninjago Media Project is a Google Drive with every. Oh, okay, cool. Is that what's in the description? Yeah, I didn't know it had like an actual name. Yeah, if you guys wanted to check out the description, Mr. Flame has actually assembled a lot of the Ninjago episodes for you guys to watch. They're in the description. They're pretty much all there, so I think that's awesome. Thank you once again, Mr. Flame, for that. But yeah, top of the description in the Google Drive if you ever want to watch all of Ninjago. There you go. Save that link, send it around. You guys know the drill. Tournament picks, please. Perhaps in a little bit we will go to a tournament. Actually, no, we'll do that right now. Whatever works. You sound like you were breaking up by the Ultra Dragon's death. It's sad, man. I mean, like, Ultra just like he just died. like, like it's very sad. I just wish that the ninja would have recognized that it was the Ultra Dragon during season 9. So yeah, yeah, when they showed up and they saw like Ultra Dragon being used as like the Iron Baron's throne, all they said was oh, I already hate this guy. But they never recognized that it was the Ultra Dragon, which I kind of thought was unfortunate, but hey, what else can we do? The message still got across. Not the Ultra Dragon, the Iron Baron is a very bad person and obviously has been punished for his actions. So imagine riding on Power Dragon to school. That'd be awesome. Just like dunking on everybody, showing up with a dragon. That could be cool. Another reason to hate the Iron Baron? Yeah, exactly. Would I want the ninja to visit the first realm again? Maybe if there needs to be like some type of, I guess, reason to go there. The first realm is very special, and they obviously do have allies there. So if they ever needed to go back, I have no doubt that they would be protected, and they would actually have some type of team. So unless the story calls for it, I don't really feel like we need to go back. But I would like to see the story lead there again eventually. So I would very much love to see the first realm come back into the story again. That could be fun. Pirate voice Zane or normal voice Zane? I like the normal Zane. Pirate Zane's funny, but normal Zane is still where it's at, in my own opinion. Iron Baron sucks. Yeah, he's not a very good character. He's not a good person, and he's not a very well written villain either. I got a lot of issues with the Iron Baron overall. Honestly, one of my least favorite villains. I do like his top hat though. That's one thing I will give him. His hat is very stylish. What happened to Feng Quan Do? Who's to say? Probably died with the Serpentine. Snakes are still around, so maybe they still use it. Why don't I like Kai so much? Kai, I don't really have a lot of issues with. He's just, I don't know. He's not like my favorite ninja, but he's not my least favorite ninja either. Kai is just kind of an average character to me, in my opinion. There are things that I do like about him, but I never really found myself relating to him as much as some of the other ninja. Growing up, he was never really my favorite. So yeah, hope that answers your question. Iron Baron is nothing without his army. Yeah, I can basically agree with that. So, have I ever played Lego Dimensions? No, I remember really looking forward to Lego Dimensions though. When it was coming out, I was really excited for it. I had in my Amazon wishlist a whole bunch of Lego Dimensions packs that I wanted because I really wanted to play the game, and it came out and I didn't get it. I never really got on board with it. It was never something that I kind of like I guess was excited to play anymore after it came out. So I can't really explain why. I think it has to do with the fact that I was kind of expecting it to be a little bit different than some of the other Lego games, but it kind of looked the same. But no, I do like the idea of them creating various fun packs and expansions, though. Like, that's cool. I think that's really fun. But no, Dimensions isn't really something that I jumped on. I was kind of on board with it when it was coming out, but after it came out, never really got on board with it. So it's kind of unfortunate there. But they did have a large array of Ninjago stuff though, so that was fun. I thought the Ninjago fun packs that they had were pretty cool. Which side character do we want to return other than Skylar? I would very much love to see, just off the top of my head, I want to see Cyrus Borg get a little bit more attention. He was obviously in Prime Empire for a little bit, but I want to see him actually get a lot of attention because he's a good character. I talked in a video, I think yesterday it went up. I talked in a video yesterday about how they should do a pixel focused season with Cyrus Borg in the forefront, and they very much should do that. I feel like that'd be a really cool idea. Um, but no, even though Cyrus Borg has come back a little bit, there's a I still think she could or he could come back and actually have a big role. What I think about Pixel, she's alright. She's a cool character. I think she's a really good samurai. Definitely works better as a samurai than being stuck in Zane's head. I will give you that. I didn't really like when Pixel was stuck in Zane's head, because she deserved to have a little bit more spotlight on her. So I'm glad that she did. Let's switch over to Day of the Departed pictures. Who would win in a fight, Skylar or Morrow? They might be pretty evenly matched, but I think Skylar might pull ahead just a little bit because of her power. That also kind of leads into the question, do I think Skylar is overpowered? Yeah, in some ways, because she can basically absorb any element, but they do have restrictions on her, though. When she tried to absorb Garmadon's power, it worked for a little bit and then started to mess her up, so I guess that's that. And also, she couldn't really absorb golden power because then she would explode, according to the heads of Ninjago. Skylar cannot absorb golden power, or else she would blow up. So, do I think Borg Tower would be a sick Lego set? Yeah, I really want to see that. I thought that's what we were going to be getting for the 10th anniversary, but nope. Guess not. Ninjago City Gardens, which the City Gardens set is still really cool. Don't get me wrong, but no, I would have loved to have seen um, a Cyrus Borg Tower set thing. That'd be cool. Borg Tower, not Cyrus Borg Tower. Um, yeah, I want to see Skylar explode. Then get her to absorb golden power, and then she will spontaneously combust according to the heads of the show. How tall am I? I think I'm like 6 foot even. I want to say I'm not like I think so. The last time I checked, I think I was like 5'11". So yeah, I got to be like 6 foot by now because that was like a couple years ago. So yeah, 5'11", 6 foot, somewhere in there. Rip Skylar, yeah, totally. Don't let Skylar absorb golden powers. She's gonna blow up. Do I think there will be a big Ninjago video game? I think they might have missed that opportunity. I would have loved to have seen that in Prime Empire, but we never got that. I think it would be cool if they were a Prime Empire, if they were a Prime Empire game to coincide with the season. That'd be awesome, but no, guess not. um, let's see. What do I think works better as a Samurai X pixel mech? The Thor or Miles Morales mech? Oh, like which one works better as a Samurai X mech? I think the new Miles Morales mech is cool. I think that looks fun. Obviously, that would work for Pixel. Why do I hate Kai? I don't hate Kai. Kai's just one of my least favorites. But he's not even my least favorite. His least favorite is his sister. So, don't like Nia as much as the other ninja. But I want to, so I hope Nia improves. Do I think Pixel should get powers? I don't really think she needs powers. I feel like she's fine right now as Samurai X. She still is a pretty strong character just as Samurai, but as Samurai X. But no, I don't think giving her powers would benefit her. I think she's fine right now as Samurai X, in my own opinion. What do I think of Jay? He's a fine character. He used to be my favorite ninja for a while. When I first started getting into Ninjago, Jay was my first favorite. Then I jumped into Lloyd, and then Cole's my favorite now. So yeah, Jay I obviously don't have an issue with. Jay's cool. Could I meet you someday? If I'm at like a convention or whatever, I'd very much be open to that. I've been to conventions before, not specifically like a Lego convention, but that is on my wish list to go ahead and do one day. Go to a Lego convention, maybe like a brick fair or something like that. Obviously, with the Corona coming out, they've kind of canceled a lot of conventions and whatnot. But no, I would really much, very much love to go to a Lego convention at some point. So yeah, if I'm ever at a convention, I'll let you guys know. And if you're there as well, come find me. We'll hang out. It'll be fun. Favorite season? Season 4. Tournament is still my favorite. Have I ever gone to VidCon? I have not. The only conventions that I've been to Anime Expo a couple of years, and yeah, I think that's about it. So, yeah. But now, if I'm ever at like a Lego convention, I'll let you guys know. Make sure to wear your mask. Yeah, if you're going out in any place, just regardless, wear a mask, please, or not even go out at all. I try not to go out unless it's necessary, but sometimes that temptation kind of drives me a little bit, and I do exit the apartment and perhaps go to the gas station, and perhaps I'll buy a corn dog there. But no one can really prove that. Would Nauticon remember season 6? I think he would. If Nauticon were to come back, I think he would very much remember Skybound. I think that would be a thing. What did I do for New Year's? Nothing really. I just kind of sat around. Didn't really do a whole lot of anything. So it's unfortunate because I wanted to do something, but never really got around to it. My favorite Ninjago ship. Watch me say the Destiny's Bounty. Ha ha ha, Lamau. No, my favorite Ninjago ship is still Jay and Nia. I think their relationship is still the purest out of everyone. It's still the best. It still has had the most amount of development. So, yeah. I don't really like that joke, though, when people are like, oh, what's your favorite ship? And then they're like, oh, the Destiny's Bounty. Ah, it's funny. But no, I like Jay and Nia. What if Dareth could turn into animals? That'd be scary. That'd be like some Animorphs type stuff. Not really excited for that. If Dareth does get powers, I feel like that's what it would be. I feel like he would have the ability to transform into animals. Not my favorite thing ever, if we're being honest. That does sound kind of creepy. I love the Black Bounty. Black Bounty's cool. Morrow or Harumi. As a better villain, I think I'm more, I guess, leaning towards Morrow a little bit. But Harumi's still good too. I feel like they would work really well together as like a team or a couple. They could be the dead couple because they're both dead. I love Bruise. Bruise is nice too. Cole and Jay. I feel like they could work really well together if they were to become a couple. I would very much like that. That could be fun. They work, you know. Even Nia said in the show, perhaps you guys belong together because they do. They're soulmates. But no, in all seriousness, I don't think that's ever going to happen because Jay is with Nia. So rest in peace, Bruce. We can only wish and dream. What do I think of season 11? Season 11's fine. The fire chapter is a little bit less than the ice chapter in my opinion. Not a great season, all things considered, but it is still fine. It's fine. It's a fine season. I got a lot of issues with it, but there are also some stuff that I like. When the ninja become old and half the team dies, who do I think will still be alive in the mentor of the next generation? I would like to see Lloyd actually have like a sensei role. I feel like after all of the other ninja kind of go away, Lloyd can kind of take on the Sensei Wu role. So I think that could be fun. Kind of fill in for Master Wu, if you will. But no, I feel like all of the ninja should be like some type of sensei to the new generation. Obviously, depending on who's alive and who's still around. Zane's going to be around for a while because Zane's a robot, never really ages. So yeah, Zane could still stick around. It's going to be weird if when all the ninja just get super old and Zane is the only one that's still young. That'll be weird. But he's a robot. What else can you ask for him? It's not like he's going to age. How do I think Wu will die? Hopefully peacefully, just from old age. Perhaps he can kind of disappear into the great beyond or something like that. I don't know. I don't want him to die in like a tragedy or anything like that. I feel like we will see Wu's death though at some point before the series actually ends. I feel like that's something that's going to be happening. If we're going to be seeing Wu perish, I think like maybe a sacrifice thing could be cool. Otherwise, I would very much just like to see him, just die naturally and peacefully. You know. I think that's not asking for too much. Imagine seeing all your friends die of old age while you remain. Yeah, that's going to be Zane's life. So Zane's life is going to be really depressing later on. Unless they keep Zane around and maybe he can just be like or maybe he can just be like the Elemental Master of Ice for like every ninja team to follow because he just never ages and he's always going to be part of the team. That could be really fun, actually. When they saw their reflection in season 5, Zane said that he looked older. Yeah, he looked older, meaning that he looked the exact same. But no, Zane's life is going to be pretty hard moving forward if we're being real. Do I think Lloyd and Skylar's a good ship? I don't know. I feel like they have their moments, but it's not like it's not like my first choice. I think they would both work better with other people. Could I email you ever? Yeah, all my contact information is in the description. In terms of whether or not I'll get back to the emails frequently, though, is kind of a mixed bag. Because I try to get back to every email, but I do get a lot of messages and emails and whatnot during the day, so it's kind of hard to get back to everybody. So just keep that in mind if you're gonna try. Don't be too disappointed if I don't get back to you for a long time. Apologies for that in advance. Where did Zane's dent in season 8 come from? Was it there before? In between seasons 7 and 8, the ninja have had a few adventures that we haven't really seen on screen. So, yeah, I guess it came from one of those. Also, Kai's bandage is there too, but we've kind of discussed how Kai really doesn't need his bandage because he just has it on there because it looks cool. Which I do admit it does look kind of cool, but he doesn't need it, so it kind of looks stupid. Are the elemental masters still able to get their elemental dragons out? Not anymore. Um, Obviously, with the change in season 8, the elemental dragons have kind of you know gone missing for no reason. So I don't think they're going to be able to get them anymore. It's like the same with air jitsu as well. Yeah, we have to learn about safety tips in school. Well, pay attention. They might help you in life. I don't know. Can we do rebooted? Yeah, sure. Season 3. There we go. It's what's cool about having like all of these pictures like in front of me. I can just pick on like any slideshow I want and it'll play on stream. Like in like a few seconds. Like you saw how fast that took. I'm also getting a call from Oconto Falls. Are one of you guys calling me? I don't know who that is, so do I think there's room in the monastery full of Kai's hair gel? Absolutely. I'm willing to bet that he has like a whole storage unit kind of rented out for his hair gel. Kai's an interesting guy, all things considered. Kai, I think he makes a lot of fun decisions. He's not a bad character at all. Could I do a Ninjago suit tier list? That's on the list to make eventually. I will write it down as something that you guys want to see a little bit sooner. I think one of you guys asked for that earlier, a couple streams back. But yeah, I do write down ideas from you guys, and depending on whether or not they're already on the list, I will bump it up in case you guys want to see something like that sooner. So I could totally write that down. Ninjago suit tier list as something to bump up the list. So thanks for suggestions, everybody. Who took the picture of Kai in the shower? It was Jay, because Jay's a little mischievous one. He did it. Could I make a video of ways to sell used Lego? I don't really have a lot of experience with selling used Lego stuff. The only time I've sold Lego is on eBay. Obviously, there are better options for that. If you wanted to open up a store on bricklink.com, you totally could. Bricklink is kind of like eBay, but specifically for Lego. There's a lot of cool stuff on Bricklink that you can kind of find. People are buying and selling a whole bunch of different figures on there, different sets, different pieces. So, yeah, Bricklink is a pretty good source. I don't really sell stuff on Bricklink, though. I really only just buy on there. So, but on eBay, it's pretty easy enough to do. Do I ship coal and cake? Absolutely. I feel like everyone should do that. Maybe if Skylar she gets Kyle to herself. Yeah. No, I feel like they work really well together, though, if we're being real. And you know, Skylar is my favorite female character from Ninjago, so can't really complain too much about her. Can I do the next ranking the seasons update as a tier list? I'll consider it. I kind of like doing what I've been doing in the past for the ranking of the seasons, so I'll consider it. I'll write it down as a possible idea later on, just in case I want to go ahead and adopt that. But as it stands, I think with the ranking of the seasons video, I kind of like to do that as I've been doing them. Who would I want as a brother from Ninjago? If I had to pick one of them, honestly, that's tough because my first instinct is to say Cole, but I feel like with Zane, if Zane was like my brother or roommate or whatever, I think Zane could be fun because like he could like he's super smart, so he can like analyze all my income whatnot. Maybe he could actually do my taxes for me. That could be fun. Yeah, I'm gonna do Zane just specifically for that reason, so I could use him as a calculator. Would I rather a prequel series to Ninjago or a sequel? I feel like both of those would work, honestly. My dream has always been to see a sequel series for Ninjago where there's like a younger generation of ninja that they need to train and train up as elemental masters, but a prequel series would be fun too. Like maybe if there was like a prequel centered around Wu and Garmadon, that could be cool to see. Maybe we can get some Masako in there too to get a little bit of drama between Wu and Garmadon. I feel like that could always be fun. But I think I would rather see a sequel. Zane can do my homework. Yeah, Zane can basically just do anything you want, so that's why I'd keep him around. And plus, he's got ice powers. So, dude, he's like a refrigerator. Whenever you needed ice, just go up to Zane and just be like, "Hey, man, just put a little bit of ice in the cup, you know," and then he'll do it because he's the master of ice. It's perfect. Zane is basically a smart fridge. Do I think Lloyd will get a girlfriend soon? There are other options for Lloyd. I mean, Harumi could always come back from the dead, but otherwise, if Harumi doesn't, he still has Akita. And Akita, I feel like, would be a very good match for Lloyd, if you will. So, yeah, like Lloyd and Akita together could be awesome. So, let's make it happen, Ninjago. If anyone from the staff is watching, please. If they just wrote off Airjitsu, why does Nia know what it is in Prime Empire? I feel like they forgot how to use it, though. I don't feel like they wrote it off. I feel like they still remember Airjitsu, but they just don't know how to use it, or they refuse to use it, or whatever. I've done a few theory videos on that. There is like a theory going around that the ninja just kind of refused to perform Airjitsu because it's connected to some type of dark mystical art, so I guess that kind of makes sense. But in terms of, I guess, why they don't use it, yeah, that's pretty much up in the air at this point. You could pretty much make any guess and it'd be fine. If Zane was a smart fridge, was he made by Samsung? Probably. Imagine if Harumi comes back and Akita sees them together. That'd be messed up, man. I think Akita really likes Lloyd. I feel like that would work out. Bring Akita back, man. Have her be with Lloyd. That's like the perfect couple right there. Thought I didn't like the Lloyd X Wolf girl ship. No, I really like it. I remember when they had that little kiss in season 11. I was like having a fit like in my dorm room. I was like freaking out. I thought it was awesome. My roommate kind of looked at me weird when I was at college and watching Ninjago, but yeah, no, I feel like they would work really well together. What if Waffle was in the tournament? She'd lose instantly. She's not a very athletic cat. I mean, we have like a cat tower in one of the other rooms that the cats like to climb on and scratch up and whatnot, but she is not very good at making it to the top. Both of the other cats are very graceful in their movements, and Waffle just kind of thumps her way up the tower. So she probably wouldn't get very far. Have a crush on Akita big time. Hey, you know, teach their own. Don't blame you. Who's my favorite cat? Oh, I can't pick out of the three kitties. They're all super good to me. They're all super cute. What's a good name for Lord Nikita? Probably the ship name is what, Lokita? So I think that'd be it. Waffle's Meowthra, so she would win. Waffle does look a lot like Meowthra. Like, if you guys have seen the Ninjago movie, the giant cat looks very similar to my cat Waffle. It's kind of fun because she climbs on the shelf and kind of knocks over all of my Lego figures occasionally. So yeah, she is kind of like Meowthra in a way. With only a few minutes left of the stream, let's jump into some rapid fire questions. We are almost done with the stream already. Just crazy. I feel like we just started this. What if I did a 245-hour stream? I would die. You guys would probably see me drop dead on camera because I don't think anyone can do that for that long. But yeah, anything that I can answer in just like a quick sentence or two, let me know. Do I think Skylar will get her own season, or do I wish Skylar gets her own season? I feel like if anything, I just want her to be part of the main ninja team. Like that's like the first step, and then maybe she could get her own season later on. Maybe old Nia or new Nia. I kind of prefer the newer Nia in a lot of ways. I love her design a little bit more. I think the older Nia is still pretty good though, all things considered. I think she's still fun. Do you like Samurai X Pixel? Yeah, Pixel Samurai X is just like really fun. A lot better than being stuck in Zane's head. When I do the 10-hour stream, will we see your face? Maybe, potentially. I haven't really decided yet. My face is out there already, though, if you guys just wanted to see it. It's been in a recent video, so so go check it out. You like Jazz? Yes, I do. My favorite Transformers character. Aquino or Scott? I like Aquino a little more, but Scott is also really fun as well. But Aquino is just a little bit better, in my opinion. What is Nia's main color? Right now it's gray, but she also kind of bounces back and forth from like the maroon red to gray to silver to black to blue to azure blue. She can't really pick a color. So she also has had green in her design before with a couple of the Samurai X suits, so no, she can't really pick a color, which is weird. Let's see. Gunmetal gray, yeah. Gray, silver, whatever you want to call it. Old Kai or new Kai? I think the new Kai is really fun. I don't know. I just feel like he's a lot cooler. I like his design a little more. Pretty much all of the ninja I thought had really good upgrades in terms of their designs, except for Jay. I do like the new Jay design, but I don't think it works as like an older Jay. I think Jay looks a lot younger now than what he did earlier. But no, otherwise all of the ninja I really liked their new designs. Do I have a least favorite Ninjago minifigure? Not off the top of my head, I can't really think of a least favorite one. But there are some characters that I don't like that I have, like I have some of the lesser snakes, some of the lesser serpentine, but I don't really think that's like a negative thing. It's not that I don't like their figures; it's just that I don't like the characters. Do I like the pilot season? Yeah, the pilot season's amazing. There are other seasons that are better. There are other seasons that are worse, but the pilots are really good. Very nostalgic. What did I think of rating the episode? What did I think of rating the episodes 8 out of 10? Or more of a waffle out of 10? That could work. 8 waffles out of 10. Yeah, that could actually be really fun. Do I hate Rebooted? I do not. Rebooted is actually a pretty cool season in my opinion. There's a character that I hate. Yeah, I don't like Dareth. Dareth is probably my least favorite character. But his figures are fine though. Like, I don't hate the design, I just hate the character. So, yeah. What's my favorite villain? Mine's Garmadon. I really like Garmadon. He's cool too. Otherwise, the Overlord is cool. Master Chen is cool. Probably those three. If I had to pick three that I liked, probably those three. If Zane's a smart fridge, then Kai's a dumb muffin. Jeez, laying into Kai. No, I feel like that. I feel like that works out. Do I like the element of brown? No, it's just like a weird power that I just don't care for. A very awkward power, and that's why I don't like Dareth. Yeah, hashtag don't be a Dareth. What if Dareth was part of the main team? Oh, I don't know about that. My respect for the ninja team might be diminished a little bit if Dareth were to join. Luckily, they kind of canceled him out pretty quick. They're like, no, club's full, you can't join. And then they recruited Nia later on. So, yeah, like, take that, Dareth. Let's go ahead and answer one more question before we round out the stream. That's actually a good question. Would I rather Ninjago be an anime series? I just saw it. It's like, yes, we need to answer that one. I feel like in a lot of ways Ninjago would work if it was an anime, but I don't feel like that's necessary. Ninjago, as it is right now, is still a very solid story. Doesn't need to be an anime, doesn't need to be anything other than a Lego series, but no, I would very much like to see some type of anime series for Ninjago. Luckily, we did. In Season 11, we got a couple of anime episodes in there, and I thought those were fun. I don't know if I'd like an entire series based off of that, but I don't know. That would make for a pretty interesting storyline, and I think that would greatly benefit Ninjago. With all that being said, guys, that'll just about wrap it up for the stream. Pretty much done a lot early than what I was expecting. I mean, it went by pretty quick. In terms of the streaming information, this is what we got going on. Everyone can do the end of the stream tradition where we spam the word hug in the chat. I will do it 3 times. How about that? But yeah, in terms of the streaming information, we stream Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time, with an episode review and a Q&A. Obviously, we're going to be updating this day by day. If there's ever a day where I cannot stream, I will let you guys know via my community tab. Tomorrow, we will be talking about the Corridor of Elders, which will be the last episode in Season 4, and then the next day, we'll jump into Season 5. So thanks a lot for tuning in to this stream, guys. Thanks a lot for hanging out. Thanks for asking questions. Thanks for being an awesome audience. And thanks for being patient with me this stream. I know I kind of ramble a little bit and say a lot of stuff repetitively, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream nonetheless. I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching and asking questions, just hanging out. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. We have a few more videos coming out today on the channel, so stay tuned for those. In the meantime, though, that'll pretty much wrap it up for the stream here. So thank you very much for watching. I will catch you guys in the next stream. Have a fantastic rest of your day.